Hello again. I have an interesting book today. It's called Hello, Lighthouse. You can see it has an award, the Caldecott Award for Illustration. And it's written by Sophie Balakal. And lighthouses are something kind of the past. We don't rely on the signal from a lighthouse for a boat being able to find its way safely to shore among all the rocks and things like that anymore. We have GPS and we have much better communication and very reliable. So they've kind of just become more of a tourist attraction. And but their history is very interesting, and because the lighthouse keeper was a government employee, they wanted everything detailed, what they did during the day, what repairs they made, even what supplies they used. So they kept journals and they kept a log of everything and what time things happened and what the weather was like. So those are also very interesting historical documents that we can look at if we visit that, or you could look up online if you are interested in learning more about lighthouses and the life of a lighthouse keeper. But our story today is just the story of one man who was a lighthouse keeper, and about his kind of routine and about the lighthouse itself. And again, it has an award for illustration. So as I read, just, pay particular attention to some of the nice illustrations that help us put things in place and help us have a picture in our mind about what lighthouses are like and what kind of purpose they served. Hello, Lighthouse by Sophie Blackall. Look at this here, really out on its own on a rock little island. And if you look closely, you can see a small boat moored over there. That must be the delivery, somebody who's bringing something up to the lighthouse. So, which didn't happen very often. On the highest rock of a tiny island at the edge of the world stands a lighthouse. It is built to last forever, sending its light out to sea, guiding the ships on their way. From dusk to dawn, the lighthouse beams. Hello, 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 lighthouse. The new keeper arrives to replace the old. To carry on tending the light, he polishes the lens and refills the oil and trims the burned end of the wick. Throughout the night, he winds the clockwork that keeps the lamp in motion. During the day, he gives the round rooms a fresh coat of sea green paint. He writes in the logbook and threads his needle and listens to the gathering wind. Definitely people had to be okay with spending a lot of time on their own. The wind takes a deep breath and blows and blows. Hello, hello, hello. The keeper boils water and drinks his tea. As he fishes for cod from the window, he sets the table and hums a tune and wishes for someone to talk to. Every few days he writes her a letter and throws it into the waves. He tends the light and writes in the logbook and waits for her reply. I wonder if that's to a particular person or anyone who finds that message in a bottle here. See it? The sky grows dark and the waves rise and crash. Hello, hello, Hello. The lighthouse continues to kind of shine its beam out there, saying, here I am, hello, hello. The keeper looks through his telescope. The tender arrives, bringing oil and flour and pork and beans, and his wife. He shows her around the round rooms of their house. He tends the light and writes in the logbook and sets the table for two. Well, that's who he was missing. I'm sure his life will improve, not be quite so lonely with someone here finally to talk to. The fog makes everything disappear. A bell must be rung to warn the ships. Clang, clang, clang. One thick night, disaster strikes. A boat is wrecked on the rocks. Not a moment to lose, the keeper rows out. He pulls 3 sailors from the deep black sea. He tends the light and writes in the logbook and wraps the sailors in blankets. That also would be part of his job, rescuing people who their ship crashed. But that's pretty dangerous too, to try and row out in those churning waters like that. The sea turns into a carpet of ice. Hello, hello, hello. These are seals. One dawn, the keeper begins to sneeze. By dusk, he is terribly ill. His wife is everywhere at once, running up and down and up spiral stairs. She tends the light and feeds him broth and chips ice off the lantern room windows. She sits by his side and writes in the logbook the minute his fever breaks. So she took over his work while she helped him recover. The icebergs pass on their journey south. The whales pass on their journey north. Hello, hello, hello. Inside the lighthouse, the woman walks around and around the room. Her husband boils water and helps her breathe in and out. He tends the light and writes in the logbook. Is anybody noticing the roundness here of his wife's belly? Looks like it's gonna be a little bit more cozy in the lighthouse. And then he notes the time of the birth of their child. The sky erupts in swirls of green. Hello, hello, hello. The tender arrives, bringing oil and flour and pork and beans and the mail, along with fresh books and news from the land. There's an unexpected letter with the Coast Guard's seal. The keeper winds the clockwork and polishes the lens, just as he's always done. He tends the light and writes in the logbook, but knows that it's not for long. Together, they watch the horizon. I see them up here. Their little child with them. The Coast Guard arrives with a brand new light and installs the machine to run it. No lamp to fill, no wick to trim. The keeper's work is done. He climbs to the top of the spiral stairs and closes the logbook for good. They pack their belongings into the boat and wave farewell to the gulls. So the Coast Guard has installed a mechanical light, so there is no need for the lighthouse keeper. Beyond the breakers, they all look up. Goodbye, lighthouse. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. On the highest rock of a tiny island at the edge of the world stands a lighthouse. It is built to last forever, sending its light out to sea. The fog rolls in and the fog rolls out. The waves rise and crash. The wind blows and blows. Hello, hello, hello. Over the waves across the bay, a light on the land beams back. Hello, 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 lighthouse. I think the lighthouse keeper and his family moved to the land, but in a house that can see where they have lived and loved being there for so long, and they can look out and have good memories. That was a beautiful story, and this is the author's note all about lighthouses and the work of the lighthouse keeper. So again, like I mentioned before, if there's something that you want to learn more about lighthouses and the jobs that people had keeping them going for the ships and the all that traffic on the sea, you can use your computer, you can look it up on the internet, and you can certainly find some books in here next time I see you. And I hope you enjoyed that. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.